Hello, Abraham. Thank you for joining. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello. Good evening, Dr. Vic. How are you? Hello, Pastor Abby. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you all. Welcome, welcome, guys. Hello, Shayi. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you. Guys, as you're coming in, please start to share immediately. It's going to be an interesting one. It's a series review today. And the series that we're reviewing is Calling and Purpose. The Calling and Purpose series. Everyone needs to know about their calling and purpose. They need to know what this series entails. Maybe it would help somebody. Hello, Mrs. Adelaja. Thank you very much for joining. Welcome, ma. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dr. Sunday will be here shortly. I'm just standing in. But in the meantime, I have here Dr. ANU OJO, and he's going to be the person reviewing this series. So I'm really looking forward to this, because Calling and Purpose series is one of my favorites, because it goes with my favorite book as well, Who Am I, Why Am I Here? So I think those two series together, they go, the series and the book together, they go perfectly well. So right now I'm excited to listen to Dr. ANU and his experience or his understanding of the Calling and Purpose series. So welcome, Dr. ANU.
Thank you to be here today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good, good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing very well, and just like Dr. Sunday would say, do I need to go into the intricacies of our, right?
Well, I don't understand Russian. I don't understand French. So say it in English, please.
Yeah, I'm doing very well, and I look forward to having educating time here, even as I share on the lessons I have learned on the Purpose and Calling series, and I'm hoping that people and our viewers would also get to learn a few things, and even many more would go back to that series and get to learn some key and important lessons from that series on Calling and Purpose. So I'm looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Well, I think in the meantime, maybe we should just introduce yourself. I think it would really benefit people. I know a lot of people have seen you on Dr. Sunday's page and channel as well. Those who are watching on YouTube, they have a glimpse or idea of who you are. So I think it will be interesting for you to tell us a little bit about yourself, especially those who are joining for the first time. But before you do so, let me just tell a few people here. We have Dr. ANU OJO here, and he's going to review one of Dr. Sunday's series on YouTube, which is the Calling and Purpose series. I'm excited about this series because I think personally, everybody, this is just my own personal opinion, that everybody should know their calling and the purpose here on earth. It is important that we do know it so that we can walk in our purpose. Otherwise, I think in some ways we'll be frustrated on earth if we don't know our purpose. And I'll let Dr. ANU talk more about that. But Dr. Sunday has other series on YouTube that you can go and check out. So Dr. Sunday's channel on YouTube is Sunday Adelaja Official. That is Sunday Adelaja Official. No doctor, so just Sunday Adelaja Official. If you go on YouTube, you find several series there. They're on all walks of life, on all facets of life, or any subject area that you may feel like will be of benefit to you. So you can just go and explore that channel. It would really be great. If you do so, you will benefit a lot. That has just been my own experience, and many other people that have testified to say that it's their experience. So Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube is the place to be in order to see all the series together and watch it at your own pace. You can download as well. We also have SoundCloud, and we also have Telegram. So for those people that have challenge with data, you can go on SoundCloud or Telegram. It's much, much easier to download, and it's less data intensive, especially if you're in Africa. So, without further ado, Dr. Anu, please introduce yourself to people, because if Dr. Sunday was here, he would be asking you questions to let people know more about you. But I think that you can do that yourself by sharing your background or some information that you want to share with us.
All right. No, absolutely not a problem. Okay, so my full names are Ojo, which is my surname, and Anu Oluwapo. And that is very long, but I would say that again, Anu Oluwapo. Okay. And Anu Oluwapo means the mercy of God is abundant. So, but the short form of my name, Anu Oluwapo, is Anu. So most people call me Anu instead of going through the long cut of the full name. And I am from Nigeria. I'm from Ekiti State. And most people know my governor. If you're in Nigeria.
I don't know your governor.
You don't know my governor? No. Yes, the famous governor Ayo Fayoshi.
Okay. Nice.
You don't know him? Wow. Again, because you're not in Nigeria. But people in Nigeria, they know my governor. He's a very well-known man in Nigeria.
I hope it's for good.
Well, we're all hopeful. Well, so I'm from Ekiti, but I grew up in Lagos actually. Yeah, I grew up in Lagos, more in Ikorodu. Yeah, in Ikorodu. Okay. And presently I am in Ukraine, and I am a medical doctor, and I'm also doing my postgraduate course right now. My specialization in the field of psychiatry. So I'm a psychiatrist in training. Okay. And I'm a lover of God. I love God and I love people. And I'm passionate about bringing revolution to the mind of people in any area, because personally, one of the reasons why I even chose to be a psychiatrist and not to be just like most doctors want to be. I mean, most people would prefer to be maybe maybe a gynecologist or a surgeon or other fields of medicine. But I chose to be a psychiatrist because of the process of purpose discovery. I went through the whole process, and I discovered my purpose. I discovered my calling, and I knew that I had a calling towards the soul and the mind of people. And the closest field in medicine that has to do with the soul and the mind is psychiatry. And so I found that because in the field of surgery, the scalpel is what is used to make incisions and to divide and to cut. But I consider my words and my mouth to be my scalpel, and the soul of man to be what I actually get to divide and to put in illumination into, because I believe a mind that is illuminated is a life that will be transformed. Because take illumination out of the mind of a person, the person can't experience any transformation. So I'm a mind guy. I'm someone who is big on mind and to bring illuminations to the mind of people, and so that would lead to a transformation in their lives actually. And I think I would like to also say that I've come to realize that from this purpose series that I learned that life should be lived for purpose, and in everything that we are doing, we should always remember that there is a reason why we're here. And so I came to that awakening when I went through this series, Purpose and Calling. and I could see the clear difference between just existing and actually living. So, and I really thank God for encountering Dr. Sunday Adelaja, because many of the things that I've learned from him has really moved me from being just a biomass. I mean, just merely existing to becoming a personality where I am living every day of my life purposefully, where my thoughts, my activities are channeled towards living a productive and a purposeful life. So I think that is what I would like to share for now.
Wow. Brilliant. Wow. Thank you very much. Your analogy with the scalpel and the mind and is really interesting, and I can see some people are making comments on that. I can't read directly, but I can see the comments about that. So well done. But you said something really interesting to me that I don't know if any other person observed that this calling and purpose series actually helped you in discovering your purpose and your calling. So that begs me to ask this question of, you're a doctor already. So did you have something else in mind before you became a doctor? Because the calling and purpose series was probably done in 2016. And you already embarked on the journey of you being a doctor, and you're already in medical school. So how did that? What impact did this calling and purpose series did to you to discover this your purpose and your calling, or did you discover it before? Give us some sort of understanding on that.
Yeah. Well, if anyone goes back to that series on calling and purpose. They're going to see a video actually that I was in one of those videos. I mean, I happen to be around.
Interesting.
When DSA was teaching on the purpose and calling series, and the title of my own interview was "How I Almost Missed My Calling."
Oh.
Yeah, you'd see it if you go through the whole series, you see it. So the title is "How I Almost Missed My Calling."
What
and then
series number is this series? Calling and purpose?
Series number 8, actually.
Number 8. Okay.
Yeah, series number 8. Yeah. So you see, number 8, series 8,
okay.
Series 8.
Okay.
So you're going to see I think it was on the 15th. Yeah, the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was interviewed, and I shared on how I almost missed my calling. Why? Because definitely, I was already in my medical school. I was actually almost graduating. I was going to my final year in med school when I got to listen to this series. Definitely, I knew from a very tender age that I had a passion for medicine. I mean, I knew that I was going to be into the medical field, but one thing that happens most times, and if there is any medical student listening to me, when you're in your pre-medical years, I mean, when you're first year, second year, third year, you really don't know what you want to, the field of medicine you want to go into, because the field of medicine is very broad, and you don't know which area you want to really dive into, which aspect, which specialty. So that was also my own case. I didn't know which area of medicine that I was going to go to. So at some point, I wanted to be an ophthalmologist. And if people ask me, "Oh, what do you want to be?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to be an ophthalmologist. And I'm going to treat eyes and everything." So, but that was just what I thought. Like, okay, maybe that's what I'm going to choose. Okay. But then, things became clearer when I got into my clinical years, because in your clinical years, you start really going into many of this field. You do the ophthalmology, you do the gynecology, and then you do all of this stuff. So when I had my ophthalmology cycle, as we call it, it didn't look like what I wanted. Yeah, it didn't look like what I wanted. So I was in that dilemma, thinking, okay, what really do I want to do in this medicine? So sometimes I go to class.
You're not looking in the camera.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes I go to class, and then I try to listen to what the teacher is saying. But sometimes it gets so boring, and then they tell us to also come to assist in surgery. I go to the surgery rooms to assist, and I'm like, man, I don't think I want to be in this place all my life. I don't think this doesn't look like what I love to do.
Wow.
So thankfully to God, I encountered this series while I was about entering my final year. And I went through the whole self-discovery process to know, not even really, I was not so focused on which area of medicine I wanted to go into. I was more focused on why am I here?
Okay.
Not even which field, but really because, medicine is a job. That's a profession. And one of the things that I learned also in this series is that we were not created to get a job. God never created any human being to get a job. Jobs were created by men. But what God did, before sending any human being on earth, God had a purpose for every one of us. So we were created for a purpose, not to look for jobs, but to discover our purpose and live out our purpose. So this was what took me into a period of solitude. So I went to a period of solitude, and then I began unraveling who I am. Yeah?
Yes, I want to ask you, this is the self-discovery process, right? That you explained.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because other people also might be in the same situation and they want to discover themselves. So thank you very much. So just go on telling us the self-discovery process that you went through, how you discovered.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first thing I learned from Dr. Sunday is that for you to really discover yourself and discover your purpose, one great way to do that is to go into solitude. So I had a very long time of solitude where I shut myself out of several distractions, and I got to really ask myself all of those questions, because it was from this. It was while I was going through those questions that I discovered that it's not difficult to discover yourself. It's not difficult to discover your purpose. You just have to have those questions. Those right questions, and then ask yourself those questions and dig deep into yourself.
So what are these questions?
For example, the first question that you'd have to ask yourself about who you are is that, number one, who am I? That's the first question. Who am I? You understand? Because the who am I question reveals my identity. So questions like, what is unique about me? What is unique about me? Now this is you asking yourself and taking an analysis of your life, comparing with other people. Okay, there are people around me, but what makes me different from every other person? Is it my height? Is it my looks? Is it the way I react to things? Is it the way I speak to people? What makes me unique? What is that unique thing about me? What distinguishes me from everyone around me? Okay. So that's the first thing in discovering who you are. So the first thing was to ask myself, what makes me unique? Why am I different from other people? So what that does is that it makes you review the real you to you, not what people have defined you to be. So then the second thing is, I asked myself that what are those things about myself that people appreciate? What do people tell me that I know you're good at this? What problems do people easily call me to solve for them?
Interesting.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people around, but there are some particular things that people would easily remember. Oh, there is Anu that can do this for me. So all of this kind of question would reveal what will reveal you to you.
So what are the things that people appreciate about yourself? What are the things that people see and they're like, man, you do this, you greet people well, you smile well, you run well, you act well, you sing well, you play the instruments well, you do this well. This is how I got to know myself more. So that's the number 2. What do people appreciate about me? What do they tell me that this is what you do well? Then the other question is, what do people try to change about me?
Change?
Yeah, because most times people don't understand the law of difference. And people always want you to conform to them. They always want you to be like them. So for example, if you are the outspoken person and the people around you are not as outspoken as you are, the next thing is that they're trying to say, you talk too much. You're talking too much. Why are you saying this? Why are you always talking? Why are you always talking? Why are you? For example, I remember when I was in high school, and I was in junior high school actually, and I was in a class, and it was our first term, and the class teacher came in and asked all of us in the class that who would like to be the class captain? Who would like to lead the class? As we used to have it. So everybody was quiet. Nobody wanted to take the responsibility. But here goes Anu. So I'm like,
yay! I'm here.
I'm here. I'm going to take this responsibility. And bam, all hell was let loose on me.
Really? Why?
Everybody was like, why are you forward? As a matter of fact, they used to even call me Bebeto. They used to call me Oya.
Okay. What does that mean?
Bebeto is, you're forward. Why are you too forward?
Okay.
Why are you forward? Who asked you? Why didn't you just allow the teacher to just choose who she wanted? Did you have to signify? Did you have to say that you're the one?
But she asked.
But you see, because they didn't want to do that, and because I was different, and I always had this notion, and I always believed that I had this thing that comes with leadership, with responsibility. Or right from when I was very tender, I always worked with people that were older than me. As a matter of fact, till now, if you look at my environment and my friends, you never see people that are my age mates. I always have people that are older than me, and I always stand out. You understand? So this quality I already had, but this was one thing that they were fighting, and they wanted to change me, to conform me. You understand? So that is another way that you can discover yourself. What are those attributes? What are those things about yourself? Not bad things, obviously. If you have some bad characters, you have to change it. But there are some good qualities in you that people would want to change you, or they want you to conform to the status quo. Those things are pointers, they are signals, they reveal the real you to you. So that's another way of discovering yourself.
Wow, brilliant. So you've just taught us the process to self-discovery. Yeah. Very good, excellent. So this is part of the series as well, is it? Critical questions you asked yourself.
Yeah, so the whole series, what you would see in the whole series is Pastor just giving you loads of questions to ask. That's the whole thing. You see, purpose discovery is very easy. As a matter of fact, from this series, I developed a curriculum, and I started a school while I was in my medical school. It's called Purpose and Destiny. And in this school, I was training other students on how to discover their purpose. Wow. So I built a curriculum, I built a whole system where I was training people on how, and later I discovered that was also my passion. Bring the subject of purpose. I'm alive. So I discovered that I also had a passion, an inclination to helping people discover their purpose. Not just so while I went through the whole purpose discovery journey, I discovered that I also had that passion to help people discover theirs. So I converted that into a product. Started a school while I was in my final year.
Brilliant.
Train people on how to discover their purpose, and I discovered that it's so easy. All of those series, what it will do to you is that it will give you a list of questions. And then what you have to do is just to sit with those questions, get a piece of paper, and just start writing. Just ask yourself and answer. Ask yourself and answer. Ask yourself and answer. Ask yourself and answer. And what happens is, at the end of the day, is that you have several dots that you just join together. Because this is the deal. Life and everything around us, right from the point of our birth to this time, has been giving us signals, directions. It has been trying to give us a message about the real purpose of our existence. But most times, we find it hard to read those signals. We find it difficult to understand the reasons behind some experiences we have. Let me give you a very vivid example. One of the things the pastor taught was that you can discover your purpose in your pain. Your purpose is hidden in your pain. Now, many of us have gone through several experiences that are painful. But then we fail to realize that these experiences and these painful experiences came for a purpose. And these experiences came as pointers, as directions, as signals to help us discover that this is the reason why we came. This is the reason why we are here on earth. But because we don't know how to read those signs, we don't know how to find out what is God's intention behind this pain. Why was it that I had to go through this pain? Why was it that I had to lose these people in my life? Why was it that I had to go through a very difficult childhood? Why was it that I had to go through so and so? But because we don't understand and we don't see things from God's perspective, we just have experiences without meaning. And we don't get to really find the treasure that is hidden in our pain. We don't find those treasures that God has hidden in those experiences that we have had. But the thing with this series is that it will help you to start connecting the dots in your life. And that's just it. So you start connecting the dots. So now you're like, so this is why this happened. So me being a Nigerian is not a mistake, and some people see themselves and they consider themselves unfortunate being born into a certain family or a certain background, or even as Nigerians. But then when you understand purpose, you will know that even to the point of the family that you were giving birth to the environment you grew in, to the local government, to every nitty-gritty of your life, you discover that God was intentional from spot 1 to spot 2 to spot 3. Even your eyebrow, your hair, your teeth, your nose, your ears, everything was custom made by God for you to fulfill your purpose. Wow. In every detail was necessary. So life becomes meaningful. And what you used to consider as a disadvantage, you are like, this is actually my advantage.
Brilliant. Wow. Brilliant. That's really interesting. I don't want you to stop, but I just want to remind some people that just joined us. Hello guys, welcome. I'm talking to Dr. Anu right now. Dr. Sunday is not here. You know when Dr. Sunday is not here that he is in court and he's been delayed. That's the reason why he's not here. So welcome for joining us. I hope you're enjoying this program as much as I am. We're talking through the Purpose and Calling series on YouTube by Dr. Sunday. So Sunday Adelaja Official, you'll find this series is number 8 on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. So Dr. Anu is reviewing that series for us and he's telling us his experience of this series and what his understanding is and how it's helped him to discover his own purpose, his own treasure, and why he was created here on earth. And I'm finding his account so intriguing. I really don't want to stop. So guys, please share this onto your page as well, so that later on you can watch you can watch this review. Go ahead and watch the actual series itself on Sunday Adelaja Official series number 8. And also you can use it to help other people to discover their purpose. Everybody on earth needs to know their purpose. So let's continue. So Dr. Anu, go ahead and tell us more.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. One thing that stands out is that when we understand the true meaning and essence of life, because that is what this Purpose and Calling series will help you to do. It will help you to understand the true meaning and essence of your life. Then you would now see yourself in a whole different perspective. You know, most people, they don't see themselves as people who are worth living. I mean, many people, they see themselves and they're like, what is spectacular about me? Many people look at themselves and they ask themselves, there's nothing spectacular about me. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not rich. I don't have anything. So what is special about me? But when you understand this Purpose and Calling series, you would see yourself in a whole different new perspective. And you discover that every human being is special. Everybody is special. And even the man that happens to live in a slum, or the man that happens to live under the bridge, he is also special. Now, you might ask me, why am I saying that? And why would I say that everyone is special? It is because everyone who is sent on earth, everyone who is living, I mean, everyone who is working right now, was sent as a solution to a problem.
Wow.
Now, the problems might vary from small to big. Some people, they were sent as deliverers of nations, of countries, to be presidents, and while some people were sent as deliverers of families. Some people were sent as saviors to the people on the streets looking for food to eat. So they might never be in the limelight like a president. They might never have billions in their accounts like the Zuckerbergs and the Warren Buffetts. But they were sent also as a solution to a problem. Everyone on earth is sent, and your birth was not by mistake. Your birth did not happen by error, trial and error. No. You didn't show up here by happenstance. It was purposeful from the mind of God. And God heard the cry of maybe an individual or a family or a community or a nation or even the world at large. cries went up to God. God heard the cries of people. But because God knows that he cannot come down to do anything, he can't come down to wipe the tears of anybody. He's not going to do that.
Wow.
He's not going to come down to say, oh, I'm going to change this thing. I'm going to change. Nah. You see, today, there's some, for example, let's see the issue with the headsmen in Nigeria. Very sensitive issue. But do you know, there are people who are crying to God every day, saying, God, what would happen? Why are these things happening? How will these things change? Do you know what God will do? God won't come down. God sends someone in that assignment to settle that issue and to bring answer to that problem. That there will be nothing like headsmen. But now, when you now understand that everyone is sent as a solution to a problem, then you now understand that any problem you see that is left in the world, it is because the person who is sent to bring a solution has not discovered it, or has not taken the steps necessary to bring the solutions to those problems. Because that's all about life. We would never get to exhaust the problems. As a matter of fact, the more humans, the more people are given birth to, the more it communicates the problems that we have. So if we have 100 billion people on Earth, it means there are 100 billion problems to be solved. And everyone can live his life purposeful when he understands that I am here on an assignment to be a solution to a problem. I'm here on an assignment to wipe the tears of some people. I am here on an assignment to bring hope to the hopeless. I am here on an assignment to be a deliverer to a set of people who have been crying for a savior. I'm here. And we cannot keep these people crying. You remember the story of the Israelites? They cried out to God, deliver us from bondage. God did not come down. But God, what did God say? God said, I've heard the cry. When God was talking to Moses, he said, I've heard the cry of my people, but I'm sending you as a deliverer. So everyone listening to me right now, everyone living on this planet, it doesn't matter who the person is, Muslim, Christian, atheist, agnostic, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. But everyone is a deliverer of some sort.
Wow, this is brilliant, Dr. Anu. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've got so much more to say, and I would let you talk about the rest of this series. I know there are also about 19 videos or so in that series. So you've talked about the questions that you need to ask yourself as an individual, and you've given us background to the understanding of who you are, and why you were created on this earth. So everybody is assured in understanding. Was this all taken from this series? Was this all the understanding that you gained from this series?
That's what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm a whole package anyways. But most of what I'm saying, you're going to learn from this series.
Okay.
But what I'm sharing is I'm sharing out of the plethora of understanding I've gotten from listening to this purpose series and some other things I learned. But a bulk of what I'm sharing is from this series. As in, let's say 80% of it is narrowed down to this series.
Okay. So what was the next step, or in terms of how did you listen to this? Did you listen to it in order, one by one, or did you listen to certain topics that interest you? So maybe other people would like to know how you came to this understanding as well.
Yeah. All right. So what I did was, I happened, like I told you, I was a pastor during that time, so I followed it back to back. You understand? So I followed it from the first to the second to the third to the fourth, and like that. So if there's anyone who wants to listen to it, I think I'll advise you to get this series and to get the book, Why Am I Here? Yeah, because the book, Who Am I, Why Am I Here? It's just like it should be your handbook while you're listening
like
to the series.
Companion to the series.
It should be it should be your companion. It should be your companion because it will definitely help you in conceptualizing some of the things that you hear. So you're able to read. You have some extra examples, and there are some practical tasks that you can do, and you can receive guidance from the book. So that is one thing definitely that would help you. I did that also. I got the book. So you listen to the series and also read the book, and most importantly, don't look for something that is far-fetched. It's right there with you. That is just what makes it even more beautiful. And it is not something that is sometimes they make purpose discovery so difficult, complicated. Sometimes they want to even collect $1 billion from you because they want to help you discover your purpose. Come on. It's just right there in front of you. Bow, bow, bow. Yeah. Just saying, hey, it's me. I've been here all the while. I'm inside you. Don't look for me outside. I'm here. Wow. So it's not complex. Just take this series. There's no one who goes through this series. I'm telling you, there's no one who goes through this series and gets to read the book that wouldn't discover his purpose. I won't discover and get a direction for his life. There's no how you get a direction. There's no how you wouldn't get it. It might not be very vivid at the beginning, but you have a picture. You might not know exactly in clear terms, but you're going to have a picture. There's no how. You get a direction. So you can either get the picture once and for all, or it will lead you to where you're going to discover exactly that this is why I'm here. So, but that one I know for sure.
Okay, brilliant. You said you were actually featured in one of the series, one of the titles of this series.
Yeah.
And it's one where it says you almost missed your calling. So tell us a little bit more about that, because that's related. Actually, move to the side that you're moving away from.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. So, it's interesting that you said that you were actually part of that where it says I almost missed my calling. Was this a title that Dr. Sunday had before, or was it because of you? Because based on your own the information you just given us about yourself as well, you wanted to be an ophthalmologist, somebody that looks after the eye, and then you discovered that it's not even something that you're interested in. So was that title because of you, or it just happened to be a coincidence? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we had a discussion. Like you know how Dr. Sunday is after his teachings, and then he gets feedback, and then we're sharing our stories. Actually, myself, Success, were around, and also Samuel. So we're sharing our stories with Pastor that Pastor, this is what happened. Actually, it was not even in plan. Pastor we're not meant to even feature on this series. So it wasn't there. The pastor was like, you guys, your stories are. You guys need to share the story. You need to get the world, let the world know about what you're sharing with me. So that was how we just scheduled it. So the first person that went was, I think, the Success. Then later I did, and then Samuel went. So that was how it was. It was from me sharing my story that, Pastor, I'm telling you, I would have missed it. I would have just graduated, become that medical doctor, go to work, just be sitting down there, asking some patients some questions, giving some drugs, and just live a miserable life. So how I almost missed my calling was coined from our conversation and my testimony and what the series had done in my life. What I was getting right after the series was being taught. Yeah.
Okay, good. I think it will be interesting also for you to tell us about, before you actually discovered your purpose or your calling, and then now that you are, what's the comparison? What can you see? I know you were a student, but still you were still functioning adult. What is your experience as a human being? Your way you feel, or mentally, physically? How can you differentiate? What's the difference that people will notice in themselves and may notice
Yeah.
Well.
Before I discovered my purpose, I was one busy human being. Very busy.
Okay. Interesting.
But when I discovered my purpose, I moved from being a busy person to being a productive person. Yeah. And that is exactly what comes with the discovery of purpose. You know, life can be very busy. And so the way things and the way life is generally, you just go through the motions. You're just doing things. But one thing I asked myself actually, it got to a point that I asked myself that okay, you've been living this busy, because I was a church boy. I was everywhere. At some point I was attending like 3-4 services every Sunday.
Wow.
I was just doing a lot of things, just being religious and yeah. So I was just one busy guy. Like, I wasn't lackadaisical about life. I wasn't laid back. I mean, I wasn't just doing rubbish. But God said something to me, I'd like to say, that actually created that awakening in my heart. And what God told me was, son, because I used to think that to live a wasted life is to like be a smoker and to drink, to party.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what God told me. He said that you don't have to
move back.
Smoke. Yeah. You don't have to smoke, to drink, and to engage in all of those vices to live a wasted life.
Wow.
All it takes to live a wasted life is to live a life without purpose. For me, it was like a knock on my head. You know how it can knock you, like wake up, and it's supposed to like wake up. So because what I was thinking was, I'm not smoking now. I'm not drinking. I'm not carrying girls. I'm not going to party. I'm not doing any of all this bad stuff. Because there were people around me who were doing that. I was like, you probably wasting your life. Oh. Yeah. I said that even me that I was just doing religious things, going to church, without any products, doing everything, just being busy. I was as wasted as those guys that were doing their things. And I was even worse because I was thinking I was doing the right things. Because those ones, at least they know that they are living a good life. But I think I was living a good life by being busy. But the moment I discovered my purpose, then I understood the difference between being busy and being productive. In 1 year, after discovering my purpose, the products that came out from my life and the things that I was doing in 1 year, I didn't achieve it in all my years in Ukraine. I mean, close to 5 years.
Wow.
In just 1 year.
So in a nutshell, you were busy when you didn't know your purpose. You were busy doing all sorts of things. Say it in your own words again, because I think people really need to know the difference, the disparity between both. You know.
I was busy doing everything that could be done. It was difficult for me to say no to things. With any invitation that comes, I was like, yes. If a friend wants to do this, wants to go out, I'm like, I'm free. I was not in control of my time. I was just busy from having services to another service, just doing this, doing that. There was literally nothing I could hold on to that my life had produced. Nothing.
There was no conversion. It was just busy, church. You mentioned you had 4 services.
I used to attend services.
And you thought that you were doing the right thing. You were not smoking, not drinking.
I wasn't smoking. I wasn't drinking.
Wow.
I was a good boy.
But busy with that purpose.
But busy with that purpose.
Wow.
No product. No product. Because when you're living a purposeless life, I mean, when your life is not driven by purpose, you would not realize But if it's just take a pause and assess your life and look for something you can hold and say, this is what I have done. This is one tangible thing I have done. You will find one. You will find one.
Wow.
And even if you find anything, it's very insignificant. But the moment you start thinking and you start living purposeful, you should. With everything you're doing, you can see purpose in it.
Wow.
And you can see results. You can see products, tangible. That this is what I've done with my life.
Interesting. You said now that in those years, which is almost close to 5 years, that you're conscious, but you were not living in purpose, right?
Yeah.
And now that you've been living in purpose, it's been how long, and what has been the difference, so that people also can see the difference.
All right. So this was 2016. I mean, summer 2016 that this series was, and between 2016 and 2017, I used to tell myself before, one of the things I used to do was I used to think that I couldn't read books. I definitely before this I used to try to develop myself in some ways, but I wasn't doing it so intentionally, and because there was no purpose, it was not directed. There was no direction. But within 1 year, I think I read, if not even more than 30 books.
You read 30 books?
I'm telling you, in one summer, I set a goal. I think in 2016 summer, I set a goal to read 6 books in that month. But I think I ended up reading maybe 15 thereabout. Because that was the summer I really went deep into self discovery. I went deep into my solitude. So I was reading books, I was listening to tapes, I was developing myself. So one of the huge difference that I noticed in my life was I became more intentional about self-development. I became more intentional, more purposeful with developing my mind and investing in myself, adding value to myself. Because when you're busy, it's activities. Being busy is all about activities. You're doing something. But you are giving out most times and you become depleted. But when you have purpose is also about giving out. But when you're living a purposeful life, you would understand that it starts with you adding value to yourself and then adding values to others.
Wow.
So you're not just adding value to yourself, but you're also adding value to others. And then this becomes a purposeful thing. It becomes an intentional thing. For example, now a day cannot pass without me going through self-education of some sort. There's no day that goes. There's no how. I'm not struggling right now to do it, but there's no day that I don't add value to myself. In whatever way. It may be from the conversation I'm having with people, I'm adding value to myself. It may be from a book I'm reading. It may be from even from Facebook. Just scrolling through Facebook, I'm finding something that's adding value to me. And so it becomes a lifestyle. When you're busy, you don't think about adding value to yourself, because you're just doing things. You're just on one. Look at people that go to if you're someone trapped in the Uncle Sam system, you're not thinking of values per se, because they're in control of your time and your life. So you're just going from work, you get home, you sleep, and then do the whole cycle again. But when you start living a purposeful life, you know that you must add value. You know that you must add value to yourself. You know you must work on yourself, because there are people that need those values that you need to give. There are people that are in need of solutions that you have to really work and give them the solutions for. So for me, from being busy to being productive, I moved from just living a haphazard life. I mean, just living, just wanting to just do something. Sometimes I get to develop myself, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I read a book, sometimes I don't. I listen to some videos, sometimes I don't. But now when purpose is known, there's no how you can abuse your life anymore. Wow. And that was what Miles Monroe said. So when purpose is known, abuse is inevitable. And what greater abuse can there be or would be if life is abused? No greater abuse. Wow. Because when you abuse life, you are abusing the essence and the whole essence of your existence.
Wow. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Dr. Anu. Thank you so much. Okay, so you've told us quite a few things here, and I asked you about the where you almost missed your purpose. I also want to know which of this the title or the videos of this series would you say you went back over and over to watch?
Beautiful question.
I think there may be one or two. I don't know.
Yeah, there are a couple of them actually. A couple of them. Okay. Number one was that your purpose is hidden in your background and your experiences. Yeah, that for me that was a very good pointer for me. Very good pointer for me. Apart from that one, another one is that your purpose is in what you're naturally good at. That was another good pointer for me. For me, I knew I naturally loved speaking to people. I love talking. For me, that's like it comes easy. Like waking up and like, hey, handle this. We have to have a discussion. We have to have a talk. We have to have this. I'm alive. I love bringing information to the minds of people. For me, that is what I'm naturally good at. So that was a very good pointer for me. So what are you naturally good at? What comes to you naturally? Another one was very similar is the role of preparation. There's some things that you do that others will have to prepare and work hard for. They have to really prepare. But you don't do it with so much preparation. You're good at it. So that also shows that there is really purpose in that thing that you're doing. Another good one actually is what you do without noticing time.
What you do without noticing time.
Yeah. Your calling is in what you do without noticing time. Very good pointer. Because, and this is how we live actually. There's some things that we do and we even forget time. But what is dicey about this is that you must understand what purpose is. To now know that, okay, this one that I do without noticing time is a right one and it will lead me to my purpose, and this one is me wasting my time. Because when I was teaching some people, and I taught them this. What do you do without noticing time? Some people mentioned I play game. When I'm playing games, or when I watch movies and I forget time when I'm watching movies. No, that's not what we're talking about here.
I was sleeping. I forgot the time I was sleeping, huh?
Yeah. So we're not talking about the movies you watch without noticing time, or the mundane things of life that you do without no. We're talking about what are those things that you spend. I mean, this is you just remembering the story of Thomas Edison and many of those inventors.
Yes.
There's a story of Thomas Edison that the guy was there in his laboratory for like 3 days. And they kept telling him that, you've been inside this place for 3 days. And he was like, no, I just spent a few hours here. I'm like, you've not eaten. And he's like, I do remember not eating. You're not noticing time in engaging in productive activities that would lead to a solution of some sort. That's what we're talking about here. Not doing something without noticing time in mundane things, but doing something that is productive, targeted, goal-oriented towards a solution to a problem, and you even fail, you even lost track of time. That's exactly a good pointer.
Wow. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Wow.
Some good stuff, yeah.
Wow. Dr. Anu, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
So what advice would you give anyone now, that wants to discover their purpose or their calling in life? What would you say to them? They'll come to you. I know you've said a lot. Maybe they should have do something, but just as a closing, what would you say to somebody that wants to discover their purpose and their calling?
There's a saying that goes that the two greatest days in a man's life is the day he was born and the day he discovers why. Those are the two greatest days in a man's life: the day he was born and the day he discovers why. If you're listening and you have a body in your heart to discover your purpose, I celebrate you. And I'm celebrating you because you fall into a category of people, very few people who are thinking of discovering their purpose. Because most people, they have no time to think about why am I here? Because they are caught up in the rat race of life. They are caught up in the whole vicious cycle of looking for money, wanting to gain salary and all of this. So if you're someone who, while you're listening to this interview, or maybe before listening to this interview, you've been asking yourself, why am I here? That is destiny calling your attention. So consider yourself, as just the fact that you're thinking of that, consider yourself fortunate. So you should clap for yourself right now. That I'm thinking of wanting to discover my purpose. I think I deserve a medal for that. But that is not enough. The proof of your desire is your action. You can't tell me that you desire something without making an action. Now, the proof that you really desire to discover your purpose is that you're going to make an action. And what is the simple action you have to make? You don't have to pay money. There's some purpose discovery seminars that you have to pay some.
Okay.
But I want to just go into solitude. And by solitude, I'm saying just even from every other, I go and sit down with this series. Go and listen. Just make sure you go with your book. Go and listen to this series back to back. Don't skip anyone. Just go like that from the first one to the last one. I guarantee you can't go through all of this series without any distraction. Your full attention is in it, and then if you now go with the book, why am I here as a companion? There is no how you will leave that room without having a direction.
Wow.
There is no how. If you go through it and you don't have a direction, my name is ANU OJO on Facebook. Just write my name. ANU OJO is a liar. He lied to me that and then there and say I'm a liar. I'm a charlatan.
Wow.
So I put my name at stake.
Yes, it's still proof approval here. Wow. A guarantee, satisfaction guarantee. Thank you. Wow. That's really good. Dr. Anu, it's been an honor to interview on this review. Who am I? Why? Review of the calling purpose. I almost say who am I? Why am I here? The review of the calling and purpose series on YouTube. So go to Sunday Adelaja official on YouTube. You will find this series. It's series number 8 in the on the channel. So get to it now, guys. And I actually would say even those who think that they've discovered their purpose already, they know there will be no harm in you checking this out and just having a look. Maybe start from the beginning, just seeing it, just to prove that you do actually know that this is your purpose. I'm really intrigued as well to see that everybody in the world discover their purpose, or at least everybody that goes and check this series out will discover their purpose. So I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. I've learned a lot. I'm sure other people have as well. So before we go, I just want to show some people some of Dr. Sunday's new books. If they are interested in it, you will be. Okay, here's one, The Essence and Value of Life. So the essence and value of life, I think, is actually related to this discussion, or to what we just talked about purpose and calling. So this is another one you might want to read, The Essence and Value of Life. Excellent book. This one is a hefty one. It has over 400 pages. I hope everyone can say it the right way. Okay. No, I don't think so. Let me try and change the angle. Okay, the internet is a bit slow, but this one says that how to transform and build civilized nation. I think for everyone out there that wants to transform their nation, or even transform themselves, I always say a nation is full of individuals. So it starts from me. Everything always starts from me. It starts from us, you and I. So I think this will be an excellent book as well to help to achieve that. So it says how to transform and build a civilized nation. How to transform and build a civilized nation is another great book. I think you should go for. Discovering, this one says discovering the
purpose.
Yes, discovering the purpose and calling of nation. We just talked about discovering the purpose and calling of an individual, but also a nation is also possible. So if you're also interested in that, go for it. I think this is another great book that you will benefit from. Here's another one about nations as well. How Africans brought civilization to Europe. Brilliant book. These books are all available on Amazon, and you can also buy them at a discount here directly from us. You can contact us as dsasbooks@gmail.com. That's dsasbooks@gmail.com. Here's another one here. Why am I unlucky? Okay, I know a lot of people always say, why me? Why am I unlucky? What this? This is a book for you if you're that way inclined. This book I find very intriguing. Work is better than vacation, labor better than favor. Okay, I know all religious people would have heard one time in their life that one day of labor is better than 100 days or 100 years of labor from your pastor or some religious person. But this book is telling you otherwise. So I think everybody should read this. Brilliant. Okay, there's another book here I can show you. It says How to Live an Effective Life. I think this also goes very well with what we've just discussed now, the Calling and Purpose series on YouTube. So this Calling and Purpose series, together with some of these books, I think it will be a very good combination. And Dr. Anu also mentioned another book, which is Who Am I, Why Am I Here? Excellent book, one of my favorite books. Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today, another great book. It would help you in all of these discoveries, discovering yourself, how to create core values in a child. You know, another great book. I don't think anyone that has children will want to miss out on this book. So go for it. How to create core values in a child. There's another one. I Am a Person, Am I a Personality? Again, this is a perfect companion also to go with the Calling and Purpose series. So this is something else that you can read to help you in your discovery. And then the one is Excellence, Your Key to Elevation. I mean, we all admire, or we demand excellence from any service or any products that we receive, but actually we should be striving also to provide excellence for people. So I think this is an excellent book. Like it says, Excellence, Your Key to Elevation. Great book. And then there's another one, Vision, a visionless life is a meaningless life. This again, I think it goes perfectly well with this purpose series, purpose and calling series. So go for it, guys. It's been quite a great evening to discover some of the things that Dr. Anu shared with us, but it's available free of charge for everybody. So you can go to Sunday Adelaja official on YouTube. The series is there, series number 8. So Dr. Anu, we're going to close now. Thank you so much for your time. But what would you like to say as final words before we go? I can't hear you.
I said one of my favorite quotes that I always say is that you're not a mistake, and you didn't show up on earth by happenstance. Your life is meaningful, and live out your purpose.
Wow. Did you hear that, guys? So go for it. Listen to Dr. Anu. You're not an accident. Your life is meaningful, and you're here for a purpose. Excellent. Thank you very much. We hope to see you soon. Actually, here in this house. I'm saying that to Dr. Anu. And also, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Dr. Sunday will be back, of course, in 45 minutes. So join us again to continue the love series, Knowing and Understanding God Through Love. So I can't wait. I've enjoyed every single day of this series. It's been my favorite. It almost seems like I'm in my element, but I know that I have said that on several series in the past. Like the Truth series, I said the same thing, and there were previous series that I said that. But please, guys, don't take my word for it. Come for yourself and watch. And that is tonight, 9 p.m. Ukraine time, and that is 7 p.m. UK time and 8 p.m. Nigeria time. I hope to see you all. Thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Dr. Anu, thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.
Bye.